Sorry if the lighting is a little bit different in today's video. It's a bit gloomy outside. I guess you could say we're experiencing some June gloom. Get it? June gloom. Hey, what's up you guys? This is Steffi, aka In My Humble Opinion, and welcome back to another Handmaid's Tale episode breakdown where we go plot point by plot point, talking about what happened in last night's episode, and along the way I share my thoughts. And in today's video, we are going to be breaking down Season 4, Episode 8 of The Handmaid's Tale. The episode is entitled Testimony. But before we get into today's video, I'm going to make a couple of announcements, if you will, because based on my analytics, I do know that a lot of you dip after a certain point in the video, so I gotta say it now while I still have you. First thing I want to say is thank you guys so much for liking last week's video. I kid you not, that video was the best performing video of all of the Handmaid's Tale videos that I made for this season. Crazy, incredible. I believe it's currently, as of right now, at about 10,000-ish views, and 1,000 of you have liked the video. And because of that, more people actually discovered my Handmaid's Tale videos. Like, a lot of people, for the first time, found my Handmaid's Tale videos because of the high engagement. So thank you guys so much. If you wouldn't mind doing that again today with this video, please give this video a thumbs up, especially if you are watching right now in the live stream. Please like the video. You're there, I'm chatting with you. That would really, really help us out. The second thing I wanted to say is this was episode 8, which means I am officially at the same place all of you are at now. I have not seen episodes 9 or 10, so we are all in the same boat together, which means there's going to be a slight change to the schedule of these videos. They're gonna now be premiering on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same kind of deal, it's just pushed back a day later. I need time to obviously make these videos, and I can't make the video overnight. So just give me a day and then we will resume accordingly. So make sure 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursdays. That's when these videos are going to be coming out. It's just episode 9 and episode 10, so not a big deal. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into this episode breakdown. Episode 8 starts with June giving herself a haircut. And ladies, we all know that whenever we get a major haircut or we make a drastic change to our own hair, that usually means there's a big life change that has just occurred. You could even say a transformation, if you will, is happening on the inside, and we want to reflect that on the outside. And that's the case with June because, you know, she's been through shit. We then see June at a support group meeting for women who have made it out of Gilead. And this is when we find out that June is going to testify at Fred's confirmation of charges hearing. June, the diva of refugees, even comes with her own Kevin Costner, tells Moira that her support group is lame because, you know, they're into forgiveness, journaling, like,
get angry!
A lady then tries giving Emily her contact info, but Emily is like,
I don't know her.
June then picks up the post-it note, and we know that face. That's her plotting face. June confronts Emily, and we find out that that woman was Iris Baker, aka Aunt Irene. And June somewhat intensely / aggressively tells Emily that she should just talk to her. It's very clear at this point that Emily is very uncomfortable, and everyone is basically looking at June like, what the hell is wrong with you? And, you know, in retrospect, we know where this storyline is going, but I will say that the first time I was watching this episode, and at this point in the episode, I was pissed at June. June clearly has rage, tunnel vision, and I'm just personally not a fan of making people feel uncomfortable, and especially forcing people to do something that they clearly do not want to do. I remember feeling really bad for Emily and thinking that she had a great valid point for saying that not everybody is built like June. Even though I understand that June is acting out of good intentions, I still don't think that that was fair for June to do. June then gets pissed at Luke for telling Tuello about Hannah and the lake house, and Luke starts venting to Moira because he doesn't know what to do. We then cut to Serena and Fred bickering.
This is so boring!
And then we're back at Gilead.
It's been a while.
And I don't miss it. And in Gilead, we see that Lydia, I'm not even gonna give her the respect to call her Aunt Lydia. If June, a couple episodes back, had the balls to call Lydia just Lydia, then I'm gonna follow suit. June's in Canada, so we're good. We see that Lydia is angrier than ever to the point where she not only tases a handmaid, but she also tases an aunt. I think she's losing it. I think she's pissed that June made it out. I think she's paranoid that all of the younger aunties probably don't like her or respect her. And, you know, sucks to suck, Lydia. I think she should go to anger management because clearly she has anger issues, but I think she's just so far gone now that that would probably not even help her. Back in Canada, June is about to testify against Fred, and we see that Tuello and Luke are there. We then get to the segment of the episode I'd like to call Handmaid's Tale Spark Notes version, or Handmaid's Tale.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
It's June recounting everything that happened to her in Gilead, and it's basically a literal recap of the entire series thus far. And out of curiosity, I did time this entire section of the episode, and it's exactly 7 minutes and I believe 13 or 14 seconds of just a slow zoom in of Elizabeth Moss, and only Elizabeth Moss. We're not cutting to anyone else. The camera is just on her. Also, I don't know if you guys realized this, but this episode was directed by Elizabeth Moss, because if there's one director she can count on to secure that Emmy nomination, it's Elizabeth Moss, the living embodiment of this Beyonce meme. So back to the actual episode. Luke is shook. Fred and Serena are like, damn, we did that. And when Fred's lawyer gets the chance to question June, which, by the way, I understand that she's doing her job, but we do not claim her, Fred speaks up and attempts to defend himself. June then gets in his face and says, I am done. And, you know, Fred is lucky that they were in public, because June was 0.5 seconds away from being like, back in Gilead, Lydia gets sent to Principal Lawrence's office, and she learns that Janine was captured in Chicago. And for those of you wondering why I wasn't mentioning Janine in my more recent videos, this is the reason why. Commander Lawrence finishes the meeting by telling Aunt Lydia that he's basically assigning her to Janine. Meanwhile, in Canada, June goes back to her Women of Gilead support group, but this time she's brought along a special guest. It's Aunt Irene. Initially, the girls are mad, but they take a vote, and turns out they actually want her to stay. So June pulls out a chair for Miss Irene to sit right smack dab in the middle, and this is when we learn that Iris, Aunt Irene, is the snitch and is the reason why Emily's woo-ha got mutilated in season 1. And then she has the audacity to say to Emily, I want you to forgive me.
No.
And then for her to also have the audacity to get on her knees and ask how she can make it better. Like, hell no, bitch. In general, it's just so funny to me. The people who want forgiveness, they say it in such a way where they're like entitled to the forgiveness. Like, no, these people don't have to accept your apology, Miss Ma'am.
No.
Later, Luke starts opening up to June, basically telling her that he's trying his best and he doesn't know what to do. But then they start kissing, and June starts unzipping his pants, but Luke is like,
not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Another failed attempt at communication. After this, we finally see Janine, and she's reunited with Lydia. And she's actually happy to learn that June made it to Canada despite Lydia trying to make her turn on June. And she really only asks Lydia that she is not forced to become a handmaid again. And see this look on Janine's face? This makes me believe she is not the quote fragile Janine Lydia felt she needed to look out for. Could this be her plotting face? I don't know. Like, I literally don't know because I haven't seen episode 9 or 10. In Canada, Moira tries convincing Emily to go talk to Iris, aka Aunt Irene, and see if she can testify. But as Emily is driving up to her place, she sees that Aunt Irene has hung herself. And this is probably going to sound really heartless of me to say, but when I saw this scene, I was just like... Back to Serena and Fred, we see that she has decided to present a united front with him, and they are greeted outside by Waterford stands. Who knew they were even a thing? Who are these people? Why do they even exist, let alone in Canada?
I'm very honored to be in the presence of so many locals.
We then go back to the support group and we see that Emily is given the chance to speak. If she wants to. Wow, June, okay, I think we could call that growth. And it's at this point that Emily admits she's happy Aunt Irene is dead and she hopes she had something to do with it. And one by one, all the girls start sharing how they really feel.
Clap if you've ever wanted to kill somebody.
We finally end the episode with June going home to Luke, and she's going to tell him about the last time she saw Hannah. Which, good for her, but also...
very bad.
Alright, so some post-show general thoughts. If I could describe the theme of this episode, it would be rage, anger. I felt like all the women in this episode expressed some sort of anger in their own way, be it June, Aunt Lydia, Serena, you could even say Emily. And I totally understand what the writers were going for in terms of showing this idea that anger is a valid emotion, especially for women to express. It's okay for us to get angry and it's actually healthy. But for me personally, I still, at the end of the day, don't agree with June's method. I don't agree with the way June sort of sprung this on Emily to suddenly confront her victimizer and surprise brought her into their support group. I think if this were real life, that could have gone a completely different way. To other people who aren't Emily, that could have potentially been very triggering. And I'm happy that within the show it worked out for Emily, but I'm not really sure how I feel about the show choosing to tie up that particular plot line so neatly. But at least with Janine, we know that she's alive, so we can all exhale. Shoop shoop. I don't know if this is kind of far-fetched to say at this point, but I would not hate it if she could potentially be involved in the demise of Lydia. Again, like I said during the breakdown, that face looked like she was plotting, but we shall see how that unfolds. I personally at this point don't really give a flying hoot about Commander Lawrence's storyline. I don't really know what they were trying to do with his character this season. I understand that we've been spending way more significant time in Canada, but still, I feel like all of the times we've seen Lawrence this season, I don't know, he just doesn't really make any sense, especially when you consider the progress that he was making towards the end of last season. So I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe we'll find out in episode 9 and 10. And then, you know, Serena, Fred, and Tuello? TBD. We'll see how that unfolds as well. I'm excited now to see where episode 9 and 10 takes us. I've been waiting 5 weeks to find out what happens next, so here we are. Alright, and my question for you guys is, I want to know, do you think it's fair what June did to Emily in this episode in terms of essentially forcing her to confront Aunt Irene? I think I've made it pretty clear throughout this video where I stand on that, but I'd be really interested to know where you guys stand. Like I said, happy it turned out well, and it seems that Emily is more at peace, but not the biggest fan of the way June went about doing that. So let me know, what are your thoughts? Do you think it was fair what June did, or were you also like, now June? Let me know in the comment section below. And alright, that's about it for this video. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and please turn on the notification bell down below so you know when a new video from me comes out, and comment down below your thoughts on episode 8. Also, just a reminder, my breakdown and review for episode 9 is not going to be out on Wednesday. It's going to be out on Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do not be leaving comments on my other videos being like, where's the review for episode 9? It's not coming out on Wednesday. It's coming out on Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, everything I said was just my own personal thoughts and all my humble opinion, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!